Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Periscope this Wednesday morning. I got you guys up early this morning, didn't I? I figured you guys could join me as I've been studying and learning about Spikenard this morning. I love digging into my books with the new oil. Good morning. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing Glowing Lotus Wellness. Happy to see some names on here that I have got to meet this past week, which has been amazing. Feel free to share this Periscope, guys. This is going to be really juicy, good information from 6 different resources. And I'm going to show you my books right now that I've been studying from. Thanks for the shares, guys. All right, so we're going to talk about Spikenard. If you're brand new to my Periscope, my name is Jackie Ritz. I am a Blue Diamond in Doterra. And hi, Gwen. Yes, I remember you, of course. Good to see you on here. I'm a Blue Diamond in Doterra, and I'm founder of the Paleo Mama blog. And Doterra just announced a new essential oil called Spikenard. And this has been something I've actually been waiting for them to come out with, because Spikenard is an incredible essential oil that I'm going to share with you guys today as to why, just so you can get more knowledgeable on it before it comes out. It's released on October 3rd. You'll be able to smell it then. I just read your word while I was saying, but absolutely be able to smell it then. But you'll be able to purchase it then as well. You are welcome. Thank you guys for snapping pictures with me. I loved meeting all of you. So let me show you guys my resources. I love to back up what I'm saying so that you guys don't think I'm just pulling it out of my butt. Medical Aromatherapy, an amazing book. I'm going to show you the books that I show you are my foundational resources and books that I recommend for anybody who is using essential oils, period, whether if you're selling it or not. But this book is awesome. I love this book. And it's by the same author. Kurt Schnabelt is Advanced Aromatherapy as well. All right. Spikenard is in all of these books. This one is probably one of my favorites. The Healing Intelligence of Essential Oils. Now, just a disclosure, guys, I have to be FDA compliant on my Periscope, which is why I encourage you guys to go get these books yourself. You can really dig in and read for yourself as to the uses and the benefits of these essential oils. I'm also using Essential Oil Safety. This is probably an amazing foundational book that has all the safety and contraindications of different essential oils. So you're going to be really happy with what I found out from that one. So let's start by just talking about Spikenard and the history of it and how it's distilled, how Doterra is sourcing it, which is an incredible story in itself. Our Doterra Spikenard is part of the Co-Impact sourcing, and it comes from Nepal. It comes from the Himalayan mountains that are really super high up. It's from what I've read this morning about Spikenard, it's a very difficult plant and oil to source because it comes from so high up in the Himalayan mountains. The resources, and especially I think it was Medical Aromatherapy, said don't use Spikenard from anywhere else other than Nepal. So I was so happy to see that Doterra not only has sourced it from the best place with the most therapeutic benefits, but also we're really helping those people in Nepal that, Doterra has had such a huge heart for. So the scientific name, I'm going to butcher this, guys. It's Nardostachys jatamanzi. Okay, see there. That's the scientific name. And this actually is an essential oil that's distilled from the roots of the flowering, it's a valerian plant. And like I said, it grows really high up in the Himalayan mountains in Nepal. The plant is actually about 3 feet tall, and it has these really beautiful pink bell-shaped flowers on it. Okay, and so we are using the root of that plant when we are distilling spikenard. Now the color of this is a very greenish amber color. In fact, it was part of our, if you were on my team, it was part of our selfie challenge, is to take a picture with the brand new green oil. Let me show you guys. See that? It's a very green, almost amber color. The smell of it is very woodsy. We're talking root here, okay? So vetiver is a root. It smells very, not similar to vetiver, but you can tell that it's a very musky, deep, rooty smell. It's very masculine. It's not one that you probably are going to want to diffuse unless you use a combination of some other oils, and I'm going to tell you guys some oils that it really blends well with. This is a therapeutic oil. You're going to want to use this oil medicinally, and I'm going to tell you guys how you can. So let's talk a little bit about the history of it. In the Bible and in different resources, this is referred to as nard oil. Has anybody heard of nard oil before or heard it mentioned? That is spikenard oil. Also, maybe if you've seen muskroot, okay, that's another word that's used to describe spikenard oil is muskroot, nard. But I've seen nard before. I don't know where it was, but actually it was in Homer, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about that. But in Homer Iliad, it was actually referred to as nard oil. So that is this is spikenard, spikenard, okay? And like I said, you can see reference to this in Homer Iliad. He used nard oil on the body of one of the characters in that book. In the Bible, I don't know what those are. In the Bible, there's many references to spikenard oil. We see it during the time of Solomon with the tabernacles. Spikenard is used as a specialized incense in the tabernacles. But guys, this is my most favorite one right here. And I had no idea about this. Let me get my Bible reference up here. It is actually in the New Testament, 6 days before the Passover, Jesus arrives in Bethany. In Bethany, Mary, sister of Lazarus, uses a pint of pure nard oil to anoint Jesus' feet. And here's the Bible reference. And being in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper, he sat at the table, and a woman came, having an alabaster flask of very costly oil of spikenard. This just makes me emotional. Sorry, guys. I just love this reference. Okay. Anyways, go read it for yourself because obviously I can't read it. And that is from John 12, 1 through 10. You can read that for yourself. So we all have heard this Bible story, and it blew my mind. And by the way, I'm having a tough week, so I'm going to be emotional on my periscopes. But like I said yesterday, you're going to get me for who I am, and I'm not going to hide it. Okay, so that, and also in Song of Solomon, spikenard oil is also referenced. So we see this all throughout the Bible. This is an incredible oil. If you're from different religions, you will also see this as well. In the Catholic Church, this is used. In, I believe even in, Indian churches, this is used because that's what Emily said up on the stage. But guys, this is a very powerful oil, and we're going to dig right into the uses of it and why it's so powerful. And what I did is I kind of divvied this up by books, okay? So I'm starting with my first book, which is, yes, I sure can. So the chapter and verse is... It's John 12, 1 through 10. John 12, 1 through 10. There's other verses as well. We have, because in the New Testament, passages are parallel. So we have Matthew 26, 6 through 13. which talks about the same thing. And then, yes, there you go. Mark 14, 3-9 as well. So what I did, because this oil is so versatile, we were told at convention how this is very similar to frankincense. It can be used for so many different health benefits. It's a very universal oil. You know, just as frankincense is an enhancer of oils, and it's something that is great to use when, you know, layering oils. You know, when you layer oils on, frankincense is one of the perfect ones to put on to enhance any oil that you're using. And peppermint is the driver of those oils that drives them in. So spikenard is very similar in that way. It's an enhancer of the oils that you are going to use on your body therapeutically. Now, ideally, you want to use spikenard topically and internally. You can diffuse this one, but you're going to get the most powerful benefits when you use it topically and when you use it internally. So in this first, the first part, we're going to talk about skin. And what I really discovered as I was studying spikenard this morning was that this is probably actually the book said it's virtually the best agent to use for any skin problem that you have, including those pesky ones that don't seem to go away. You know what I'm saying here? This is spikenard. It is virtually, it can rectify most any skin problems and help them. So guys, keep that in mind as you have children, or yourself. You just have those very persistent skin problems. I want you guys to give spikenard a try to use it topically, and I want to hear about how it helps. It is extremely well tolerated, and it also regenerates the skin most gently. This can be used neat. On children, you want to dilute it. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the great carrier oils that you can dilute this oil with. But this is skin. When you need something for your skin, think spikenard. Now, in Chinese medicine, we learn about the energies and the movements of energies. And root oils, like vetiver and spikenard, these are something that are going to really help you promote a healthy inflammatory response, including if you have persistent, problems with not having a healthy inflammatory response. Spikenard is one that you want to use for that. Now, in order to use this to help with your inflammatory response, it's recommended that you put this down your spine, downward, okay? And you move it downward down your spine. You can use vetiver as well if you want to do something right away and you don't have spikenard. Put it on your spine, move it downward, and what you're doing in Chinese medicine is you are moving those defensive energies downward down your spine, and so it's going to boost your immune response. So how amazing is that? So that's the Chinese medicine perspective, which I know I have a lot of people on my team who are into Chinese medicine, so there you go. Are we there? We still there, guys? Can you guys still see me? All right, we're back. Okay. I got a phone call, and for some reason it completely blanked out the screen. There we go. Okay, sorry about that little pause right there. Okay, so the Chinese medicine, if you guys missed that, it is something that can be used to promote a very healthy inflammatory response. Root oils is, in Chinese medicine, they are something that you want to use along your spine and move them downward. In Chinese medicine, what that does is it's moving those defensive energies downward. And so spikenard and vetiver are one of those that you want to use if that's, your goal is to move those defensive energies downward. And in doing that, it's going to boost your immune response and promote a very healthy inflammatory immune response. Okay. Now, in my medical aromatherapy book, realize that I'm changing a lot of the language to be compliant, FDA compliant. So if you need to go purchase these books, okay, I'll show you again what they are right there. In this book, now we're looking at the very therapeutic benefits of aromatherapy, okay? We're digging a little bit deeper. This is, Spikenard is probably the most sedative in aromatherapy. It is used universally in skincare like we've shared. If you guys can still hear me, can you guys throw up some hearts? Okay. I get a little nervous when I don't see hearts because I feel like you're not there. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. It's used universally in skincare, and it is known to restore balance to all different kinds of skin types. And it can help with like I've said before, and you know, we're digging a little bit deeper. This can help with those very persistent and difficult skin problems. Okay, this is from the Medical Aromatherapy book. And my Periscope should save. I heard that they save now, so if you want to come back and watch it, you're more than welcome to. And like I've mentioned before, the preferred mode of use is using this internally and topically, okay? The quality, okay? The quality of Spikenard, you know, you understand if you're a part of, you know, Doterra or you've been around essential oils before, you know that quality is the world of difference if you are using these therapeutically. So according to the Medical Aromatherapy and many of these other ones that I've researched, the Spikenard of a guaranteed quality comes from Nepal. It comes from the Himalayan mountains in Nepal. It's like that 3 feet tall plant that's harvested and the roots are steam distilled. Okay, so with Doterra, we know that you're getting the best quality, and it comes from Nepal, okay, from those beautiful people in Nepal. All right, I want to show you guys a little bit of diagram before I talk about this next part. Now we're digging deeper into advanced aromatherapy. I love this book, by the way. It's super simple, and it's got lots of great information in there. And we're looking back a little bit at Chinese medicine right now. You can see the yin and yang right here, okay? Yin is that calm and relaxing part of our bodies, and yang is that tonifying and the stimulating part of our bodies, okay? You see a diagram right there. So in regards to this oil composition in this diagram, you actually get a very profound synergistic effect when you use different oils from one area of this diagram. Okay, so when you use oils that are either all, you know, stimulating, or when you combine oils that are all calming. And so when you do that, when you use oils that are acting as the main components in the main, constituents and components of the oils, what you're doing is you're going to actually increase their effectiveness. And so the effectiveness of these main components, they're strengthened when they interact with various trace components. And so I'm telling you that because I want to give you a really good example of how you can actually make a recipe to do just that. And now we're talking in regards to your muscles and your muscular discomfort and your spinal discomfort and your joint discomfort. There is an amazing recipe that I'm going to tell you right now that is known when you combine these two. It is extremely effective for your neck if you use it as a neck and shoulder massage to loosen those persistent tensions. I'm talking very persistent tensions, okay? All right, so we're gonna talk about a perfect example of this when it comes to really, helping those persistent tensions that you might have that flare on and off. All right, so what you're going to do, remember that diagram we gave. We're gonna take a clump of oils from the same yin yang section, and so you're taking clary sage, Roman chamomile, petitgrain. Brand new oil, guys, and I was so happy to see this oil is used very often with spikenard. Okay, so we're taking clary sage, Roman chamomile, petitgrain, and spikenard. And now these different ester components of these oils, they mutually improve each other's effectiveness. All right, and so the sedative effect, and we've already talked about how spikenard is has those sedative components. Thank you so much for throwing that up there, Mom to Jade. The sedative effects of spikenard, it rounds out this entire cocktail. All right, so this mixture is extremely effective for neck and shoulder massage. All right, so, you know, Mom to Jade threw that up there, but once again, it's equal parts clary sage, Roman chamomile, petitgrain, and spikenard. So the main effects of this oil, like I've said before, is sedative. And according to my books and also the Essential Oil Safety book by Tisserand, there are no known contraindications. Are you guys not happy with that? No known contraindications. And even if there were, I wouldn't be allowed to tell you on this anyway. The external application, so we're talking topical usage. When you rub this over your heart, okay, we're talking our solar plexus right here, it provides a very sedative effect. So let's talk about emotions. What do you guys think happens when you rub spikenard over your heart? Go ahead, throw some answers up there. What do you think could happen when you add spikenard over your heart? Yes. There you go. Very calming effect. And we're going to talk about a recipe at the end for if you're dealing with extreme feelings of stress and anxiety. Spikenard is one that you absolutely have to have on hand. So it provides a very calming effect to your body. And so emotional wise, this is an incredible oil as well. And that's the thing with oils. Usually the outward effect is the same as the inward effect. And it goes without saying that with spikenard, it absolutely has the same outward effect as it does the inward effect. One of the few oils, so this is one of the very few oils that you can use on your head with flaky scalp. Okay, so you can use this in your shampoo, or you can use it, just drop it in and rub it directly with your hands into your scalp. I always recommend people who are dealing with extreme flaky scalp, and if you came back from Salt Lake City, you might be dealing with flaky stuff, which, you know, I'm dealing with flaky stuff. This is, you know, spikenard is one that you want to use. I recommend on your scalp to rub it in with coconut oil directly into your scalp like a head mask. All right, and just soak it in and leave it on. And honestly, I wrap what is the plastic paper? That plastic stuff around my head, and I just leave it on for an hour. And that is something that you might want to do yourself if you're dealing with extreme flaky scalp. And like I mentioned, I'm going to tell you guys a really great recipe if you're saran wrap. Thank you. If you're dealing with extreme feelings of stress. I'm talking extreme, like very extreme. And so for me, this week, I'm dealing with extreme feelings of stress. And I have already made this recipe in a roll-on bottle. You're going to take 1 part Roman chamomile. And if you don't have Roman chamomile, you can buy it on December 1st. And I don't have a substitution, guys. I'm so sorry. If you don't have any of these oils, instead of substituting, I would recommend just removing it completely. 1 part, you're going to take 1 part Roman chamomile, 1 part clary sage. Here it is again, guys, petitgrain. 1 part petitgrain. You can get this oil on October 3rd. And 1 part spikenard. And you're going to top it, if you can get your hands on hazelnut oil, you're going to top that roller bottle with hazelnut oil. If you can't, use fractionated coconut oil. And this is something that you can add to a roll-on bottle. You can apply it to your wrist. You can apply it to your elbows. You can apply it to your temples, and absolutely apply it above your solar plexus onto your heart. All right, I don't have a substitute or replacement for these. Maybe if somebody has heard of some of the same emotional therapeutic benefits with similar constituents, you can throw those up there, but please make sure that you're confident in that first. Thank you, Mom to Jade. Can you guys take a snapshot of that? 1 part Roman chamomile, 1 part clary sage, 1 part petitgrain, and 1 part spikenard. That is correct. This was a super interesting thing that I read about. If you are, we're going to move on from the little out of the emotional part and move into if you're dealing with seasonal threats and respiratory discomfort, especially if it's triggered by exposure to environmental irritants and stress. Okay, you guys understand what I'm saying here? Using aromatherapy for seasonal threats, it could actually be a very double-edged sword. Has anyone experienced the reverse effect when they're trying to use essential oils for seasonal threats? It could have a reverse effect than what you really want to have, and that is because, our limbic system and our smell and our respiratory could, especially if you've never used essential oils before. And so I'm very cautious when I'm talking with somebody who's is having seasonal threats and discomfort, recommending those stronger essential oils like eucalyptus and breathe right away, right? Because it's super strong. So with somebody who is brand new to essential oils and comes to you and is very interested in using oils to help their respiratory system, to open up their breathing, and to help with their seasonal threats that have been triggered by environmental stress or an irritant that they might have come in contact with, there's actually a couple of phases that you want to take them through first. And the first phase is really just getting them used to essential oils. Like I said, if they've never used aromatherapy before, then they've probably only experienced smelling synthetic, smells, which possibly triggers a reaction in them. And so what you want to do is really, really, really start by helping familiarize yourself or them with essential oils first. And what is the best, probably most popular oil that you can use to introduce somebody to essential oils? What is probably one of the most popular oils that has a very great fragrance to it? They might have smelled a synthetic version that they didn't like, but when they smell ours and when they smell Doterra's, they love it. There you go. Props to you, D. Connett. Yes, lavender. Lavender is, if you are dealing with environmental discomfort and seasonal threats, start small. That's the point of everything I've been saying. I probably could have just said start small. Start small, okay? Start with using lavender and start by using it topically in minimal amounts, very diluted. Start by diffusing it. And in using lavender, right? Lavender is great for seasonal threats. It's amazing. It's part of our tries, right? Lemon, lavender, peppermint are the powerful trio for those who are dealing with seasonal threats. So start small. And guess what, guys? Guess what oil harmonizes very well with lavender? Spikenard. Spikenard and lavender are perfect duo together and they harmonize great. So this is one that you'll want to use in addition to that lavender as you are getting your body used to the pure therapeutic smell of aromatherapy. If you're dealing, and I'm once again talking about environmental threats. So spikenard, lavender, put it in a diffuser. Use it topically on your pulse points on the back of your neck. And then if you have a positive attitude towards this aroma together, then you're able to move on to the next phase of really supporting your body with those environmental threats. Perfect duo, that is right. That's right. So, and then once you're ready, we move on into the second phase, which includes those stronger oils. And what are the stronger oils that we can use when we're, helping support our respiratory system, open up clear breathing. We're dealing with environmental threats. Those stronger oils, then we can slowly start adding into our protocol. And that would be eucalyptus. That would be breathe. right? Those would be, you know, those oils that support clear breathing, even cardamom by itself. So peppermint, yes, peppermint as well would be part of that second phase. So, you know, that is our dear and beloved spikenard. I hope that this scope really helps you guys. Feel free, please, to share this with your teams. If you want to educate them on spikenard before it comes out on October 3rd. And once again, in my essential oil safety book, no known contraindications, okay? All right, but use it smart, use it wise. Before you do apply it neat, make sure that you do a test, okay? Who's used spikenard before, right? Anybody in here, have you used spikenard before? Probably not, right? So make sure that you do a small little patch test on a different area, diluted with your fractionated coconut oil. If you have a positive reaction, no reaction, you're good. Move on to using it in different ways, all right? So another thing that I did read in my essential oil safety book is that there is an over-exploitation of spikenard. And so even in Nepal, it's been banned for export of unprocessed spikenard essential oil. So this oil comes in very, very limited quantities. And we are very blessed to have this oil now available through Doterra. So October 3rd, you guys get your spikenard. Let me tell you guys what the price is before I get off, just so I can give you a very good description. Spikenard is available in a 5 milliliter bottle. Wholesale is going to be $49.50. And we learned, you know, why it's one of those moderate expensive oils, because of its limited availability, difficulty to harvest, comes all the way from the Himalayas in Nepal. But just remember that your dollars spent on spikenard are helping those beautiful people and those beautiful women in Nepal who are harvesting this oil for us. All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of my morning and making me happy. And I hope to see you guys on my next Periscope. I will be diving into petitgrain in the next few days as well. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and bye-bye.